What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Will, and today I have two very special guests here today. And before I let them introduce themselves, I'm going to give this little spiel because on January 5th, 2021, the state of Georgia has a runoff election. It is very important that you guys vote. We have already turned the state of Georgia blue in the presidential election. So let's keep it up and vote. I'm going to go ahead and endorse these candidates, John Ossoff and Reverend Warnock. Go ahead, vote. And if you are 17, so if you turn 17, well, if you turn 18 from December 7th to January 5th, you are eligible to vote. And December 7th is the deadline to register. So if you turn 18 between December 7th and then January 5th, you can vote. So do it, vote. So now I'm going to go ahead and let my two very special guests introduce themselves.
Hello. My name is Nick. I'm a second year here at UGA. I'm a very involved musician, but I'm a computer science major, so I'm involved in technology and music a lot. I'm from Macon, Georgia. I rep the 478. You already know what's going on. And yeah.
Yo, what's up? What it do? My name is Destiny. I'm repping that now one too. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a second year intended journalism major with a minor in sports management and hopefully a certificate in sports media.
So the first question we're going to get into, I'm not going to answer this one. I'm going to let you guys answer this one. So the first question is, how does it feel to be a Black student on campus?
I'll answer it first then. I feel like it's definitely different, but it's not as bad as it seems, because it kind of makes you closer to the Black community here, because it's easier to see people from your own color, so you get more closer to your actual friends that look like you. But I will say it's kind of, for me, it's kind of harder to make like Caucasian friends or friends from the majority here, because a lot of them just don't reach out, and I feel intimidated to reach out to them, just being the minority here. So I have a lot of Black friends because, you know, I see them a lot and I feel more comfortable being their friend, whereas I don't have many white friends really. So it's not bad, but it opens your eyes in a different perspective than an HBCU, I feel.
Yeah. I wouldn't say. I mean, of course, it's not terrible, but sometimes it feels like being here on campus can sometimes feel like you up for a job with a girl named Karen and your name Quashida. You know they gonna go for Karen just because her name Karen. You know what I'm saying? It's not terrible, but that's how it feels sometimes.
I completely understand. The second one is, I'm gonna answer this one. The second one is there racism on campus? The answer is yes. And then in what forms? So I'm gonna just go ahead and say one. One of the forms is microaggressions. Definitely, there are a lot of microaggressions, and I feel like it's not just in college at the PWI. You're gonna experience that anywhere through life. You can go to an all-black high school, all-black college, go to an all-black workplace, and you're still gonna experience some when you enter, the real world. You can go to a restaurant, a store. You're going to experience it. That's the form I'm gonna cover, and then I'm gonna let Destiny and Nick cover the rest.
You got something for
Yeah.
me?
I definitely agree. There is racism on campus, and like I said, with my first analogy about the Karen Kushida thing, it's basically just stuff like that. Like you could be in class and you got Karen raising her hand and you raising your hand, and they gonna call on her first. I mean, you just gotta get. I mean, it's just stuff you gotta get used to, I guess. Even though you shouldn't have to.
That's true.
Yeah, I agree with Will. There's definitely racism on campus, and I feel like I've had a personal experience with racism. My first year, it was I was in marching band. I was in the Red Coat marching band. I was like the only Black person in the whole drum line. And there was this guy. He's a percussionist. I used to major in music, so I was also in the percussion studio. He was in my percussion studio with me, and he was also in my marching band section. I played in the pit, and there was just some vibe about him that he didn't. It didn't really sit right with me. Like he never really. It kind of felt like he never really liked me. But I couldn't like solidify that because there was like no solid evidence that he had something against me.
Mm-hmm.
But like stuff like kind of escalated like with microaggressions and all that other stuff. But I just kind of let it pass because like I never really experienced stuff like that. I didn't really know how to react. Like I didn't have any solid evidence to tell anybody, so I just kind of like let it slide until like in January. It happened like all first semester, like all fall until like January, where I participated in this event called Jan Fest, where basically a whole bunch of high schoolers from Georgia who were band students come to UGA to participate in this big honor band. And I was working there as a percussionist, as a percussion assistant, and he was also working there. And we were backstage, getting ready to be introduced because we were working there. And while we were backstage with the whole percussion studio there, he just randomly said, "Nick, fix your hairline." And then he started laughing with his friends. And I was like, this wigger really just it was so bold. Like I was fed up too, because he was like picking on me like the whole weekend. And I was like, I'm not gonna use his real name. Ross, what's your problem? Like I was just so flabbergasted. Like, why would you say that? And then like the other people who were also white, they didn't even do anything. They just stood there. And I was like really angry because all that stuff that led up, it kind of like it was almost about to overflow, and I felt like I was about to tip over, like
Mm-hmm.
with my anger and stuff. But I kind of had to hold it in because like I knew that if I did something, like if I went over there and threw hands or something, I'd probably be expelled. So I just had to hold it in. I had to suck it up, and I talked to my professors about it, and they didn't really do anything. They just told me to practice more because I have to, in order to get respect from the white people, I have to be better than them. And I just didn't like that. So that's one form of racism I personally went through. But now I think I know how to deal with it a little bit better. You just got to confront them and let them know what's up from the jump. You can't let them run over you.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It's hard, especially like I mean, I've been told since I was growing up, you got to work 10 times as hard as somebody who's not your color just to
Mm-hmm.
get to the same place. So I definitely agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely
It's
agree.
right, but it's life.
And this, Nick, you covered a little bit into the next question, but how do you deal with microaggressions? So I know when I first came here, I went to an all-black high school. So I went to an all-black elementary, middle, and high. So this was my first experience, being in like a really diverse institution. So I like experienced, the microaggressions from a jump. So like over time, I would say I got better with it. Just, I guess don't tip over. Just, if you can talk to them and try to like politely tell them, what you said was wrong and explain why it's wrong. And if they listen, great. And if they don't, go on about your day because at the end of the day, you worked hard to get to where you are today. So I would just say don't let the small things, affect you. And, try to talk to your friends, professors, especially Black professors. If you have a Black professor, please hold on to them. They are great resources, whether you can talk to them about, classes, your career, or just personal stuff going into your life. Because I would say your Black professor on campus is like your auntie or your uncle. They're not gonna discipline you like your parents, but they're also gonna listen to you and like nurture you in a way. So that's what my advice would be.
Yeah, like I said, you just gotta let them know what's up. Like if you don't, if you don't tell them or if you don't say anything about it, they just don't feel like they control you. They're gonna run over you. So yeah, that's all I got.
I haven't personally, sorry, I haven't personally had to experience, I would say, racism, which I know I'm very blessed for that because I know how I am and how I get. So I'm very glad I haven't had to personally experience anything like that. But microaggressions is definitely a huge problem here, anywhere. You can, it's comes in all forms.
Definitely. So I'm gonna put out a disclaimer for this next question. This is not to start a college war. This is not no HBCU PWI mess. But the question is, would you attend an HBCU? Um, I'm gonna go first because I've been thinking about this a lot. I would still say no. And the reason I would say no is, well, one, they're expensive. Off the,
Mm-hmm.
they're expensive. Two, the only reason I would say no is because I wouldn't say like the opportunities, but the opportunities. I know HBCUs have, they have great alum. They provide opportunities for their students. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like coming to UGA was just the best decision for me and my future career. That's why I'm gonna say it was the best decision for me. Going to an HBCU, going to Howard could be the best decision for anybody or for the person that goes there. So that's why I just want to say it was the best decision for me. Financial, career rise, the different, clubs that they offer here. It was the best decision for me. So I would say no.
Yeah,
Um, oh, sorry, go ahead.
you can go.
Okay. Well, I would say I agree with Will. I think as of right now, I'd still say no. I mean, of course, I've thought about it, especially now since I've been here. I've thought about it.
Mhm.
When I was choosing, UGA was actually my top choice, and it's only because I knew I wanted to do sports journalism, and I knew they had a great program for that. So UGA was my top choice. But I think now, like while being here, seeing everything, is definitely something I am thinking about. Like as if I was to go to like grad school, I may go try to attend an HBCU just because I also want that experience as well. But as of right now, I wouldn't change anything just because I know I'm gonna get a good education here and I'm gonna have a good opportunity to do well in my career.
I kind of have a hard answer. So I come from like I went to a predominantly white high school and a predominantly black high school. I transferred in between. Um, so when I went to the predominantly white high school, I didn't really face any of that racism. Like all the white people there, everybody there was pretty nice, and I had a lot of diverse friends. My friend group was pretty diverse.
Mhm.
So when coming to UGA, I didn't really think like there would be much racism here. I thought it'd be kind of like the environment where I came from with my high school, in the sense that everybody would be nice and open and, just be friendly. But now that I'm here and I know how it's like, I would say I would go to a HBCU. I wouldn't say I would transfer, but if I had
Okay.
known that before I chosen UGA, then I probably would have considered an HBCU, probably. But the whole reason I came to UGA was because of my future. I felt like it set my future up better. And UGA is like one of the best colleges in Georgia for music. So with me like coming into college being a music major, obviously it'd be like the best opportunity for me. But I feel like HBCUs, some HBCUs don't have as much opportunities as UGA does,
Mhm.
but it depends on the subject area or the area that they specialize in. I feel like, and their alumni base, I'd say. Like
Mhm.
Howard, they've been around for a long time. They have a lot of successful graduates there. I feel like a lot. If you go to Howard, then you'd be pretty successful, but it's hella expensive. So, um, yeah,
I completely agree. Now, if the money was right,
I go to
no
Howard.
deuces.
Right.
Honestly. Let's see. What's my next one? What advice would you give an incoming freshman or any Black student in the PWI? I'm gonna let Destiny or Nick go first.
Okay. Um, I guess the best advice I could give an incoming freshman or just a Black student at a PWI would probably be to hold your friends close. Like I know that especially in these times, it can be kind of hard to make friends. But once you do, like you're gonna probably depend on them a lot to get help you get through stuff, or just like if you need a study buddy, anything like that. Like you're gonna depend on your friends a lot. I know, like last year, I really depended on my friends, and this year it was kind of hard. Like being like going to classes with everything being very different now. I'll go to classes and I was like, dang, I knew this was a PWI, but it's a lot of white people here. You know what I mean? I feel like I knew that, but I didn't expect to see them. Or I was always seeing the same group of people, the people I hang around all the time. You know, other Black folks. So it's like, yo, what's up? You good, dog? You know what I'm saying? And then now it's like, dang, where everybody at? So hold your friends close.
Yeah, it's kind of like your eyes are especially tuned to like Black people. You kind of like tune out all the white people that pass by. But my advice firstly would be to get a meal plan and to go to the dining halls and to, I would say, live in an area, at least for your first year, where you don't have like your own bathroom, because that's where you meet a lot of people and get to a feel for the campus. But for the dining hall situation, I've met most of my friends actually at the dining halls. Literally just from like going in, eating, maybe sitting down. Somebody just come up to my table and be like, "Hi, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you." And I'm like, "Cool. Hey, I'm Nick." And then we just pop up a friendship like that. Like it's so easy to make friends at a dining hall because I mean, if you there by yourself, nobody wants to eat alone. That's kind of depressing. So
That's true.
yeah, that. And I feel like that's just general, not necessarily for a PWI, but um specifically for a PWI, I'd say be the best version of yourself. Because I think it's harder to make a name for yourself when you're the minority. So yeah, just yeah, I'm not gonna say too much because I know later questions might answer later questions. So yeah.
Um, hmm. I guess I would say don't try to change to fit in. And the only reason I say that is, when you come to like a big, diverse, university, where, our Black population is like 7 or 8%, that's really small. I'm a business major, so I see, I don't have that many Black students in my classes. I may have like one or two, and then the Black professors, that number maybe 1 to 0. I know we had one Black professor, but she is retiring at the end of this semester. So, and I don't know any other Black professors, that are in the business school or, a different, you know, discipline. Because I'm in the Black diaspora class and my professor isn't even Black. So it's just like, how can I take like a class made, for Black people or Black culture, and our professor is even Black? So it's just like the, relation to that is just so off. It's just like the instruction just isn't there. But I would say don't change because, don't try to make yourself, I guess, quote unquote, whitewash to fit in. Or if you did grow up, in a diverse area where you did get to experience, the different area, don't try to make yourself like, I guess, more black because you will find true friends no matter, how you act. You don't have to be the super pro black person or the super, and to me, whitewash isn't even like a real concept. It's just a way to knock other black people, in my opinion. So if you got that experience and you're just more diverse, that's perfectly fine. You don't have to change. You don't have to be the super alt right black person. And I feel like that's fine. So I would just say don't change. And then to piggyback off of what Nick said, be the best version of yourself. So don't change yourself. Do what you're interested in, do what you like, major in what you want to be in, and just go from there. So that's what I'm gonna say. Um, the next question is, should I be worried about not being involved freshman year? I'm gonna just say no. I'm not gonna explain a whole lot about it because I'm not the best example of that because I was super duper involved my freshman year. But you shouldn't be too worried about that. So I'm gonna let Destiny or Nick take over that.
Yeah, I feel like freshman and sophomore years are the 2 years that you can just have fun. I mean, I know a couple of my friends, like Will and Oba, they're like really, really involved on campus. And it kind of made me feel like, dang, am I not doing enough? So like I understand how it feels, but you have to know that everybody has their own path.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do what's for you. You can't like if it's too much for you and if you just don't feel like you're ready for it, then don't do it. You have time. So yeah.
Um, I don't think you should be worried either. Like they said, your freshman and sophomore years are pretty much the 2 years where you can have fun, feel how you feel out, figure out if this is what you want to be involved in or if this isn't what you want to be involved in. You know what I mean? Like you can start stuff, you can drop it. You don't have to worry about being involved. If you just need to take some time, take some time. I know I did that this semester. There's stuff I was involved in last year that I'm not involved in right now this semester because I needed to focus on other things. So that's not something you need to be worried about.
I'm going to combine the next few questions so it kind of piggies back off of like the previous question. But have you ever felt like you weren't doing enough? And then, if yes, how would you recommend dealing with that feeling? Um, I guess I'll start. So when I first came to UGA, I did feel like I wasn't doing enough because, you meet so many people. You got people who were, who did big drives in high school, who did major community outreach in high school, who has, legislation passed because of what they did in the community. So it's just like I did feel like I wasn't doing enough, like I didn't do enough in high school, and I just came to college and I'm just like boring. I have nothing to me. I have nothing to my name. No one knows who I am. But I would recommend dealing with that feeling by just saying, don't stop comparing yourself to others. Like, because when you compare yourself to others, it's just gonna, I'm gonna say it's gonna become unhealthy because, it's like you're constantly becoming obsessive with trying to be the best and it's not necessarily becoming the best version of yourself. So I would just say stop comparing yourself to others. I mean, if it's you can I mean people compare themselves to each other, all the time, but there's levels to it. You can, compare like, like passions and stuff, like different passions and stuff like that. But I wouldn't like necessarily compare like accolades because that's when people I'm gonna just say that's when people start getting their feelings hurt because maybe some people did more because they were very passionate and that was just a passion and they were just rewarded for that passion. So I would just say stop comparing yourself to others and just start worrying about doing what you like to do. And if the accolades come or if the recognition comes, it comes, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. But as long as you did what makes you happy, you should be perfectly okay.
Yeah. Um, yeah, college is about what it's not about what you do, it's about who you know. So as long as that's why I like emphasize like getting out, going to dining halls, meeting new people. Because at the end of the day, if you know a lot of people but not really, but you just pass your classes with like all C's, you're probably gonna get the job versus somebody who is a 4.0 student but don't barely know anybody, or you know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, just get to know people. I forgot what the question was.
Oh, I can repeat it. Is have you ever felt like you weren't doing enough, and then how would you recommend dealing with that feeling?
I think I kind of answered a little bit in the previous answer, but yeah, I'll just say sometimes it might seem like you're not doing enough, but when you actually look back on it, you might actually be doing a lot in itself. And you should just appreciate what you're doing right now, where you are, and what you plan to do. It's always good to have plans and goals and stuff. So
Yeah. Basically what they both said. I mean, have I ever felt like I wasn't doing enough? I wouldn't say I wouldn't say I've ever felt like I wasn't doing enough, but I would say there's times when I was like, I finished my work for the week and then I was like, dang, now I'm bored. So then I was like, well, shoot, I should go find something to do. Like, you know what I mean? And that's actually what I did last semester. And that's how I joined Diva Dogs, which is the step team, which actually was very interesting because I did stuff in elementary school, in like early middle school, and then I stopped because I played sports all the time. But when I heard about the step team here, I was like, oh shoot, let me go to a meeting. You know what I mean? And now I'm actually part of the team. So I wouldn't say I felt like I wasn't doing enough, but I've definitely felt bored, which encouraged me to join other things. I'm saying, but if you had, I guess, like I said, if you've ever felt like you weren't doing enough, there are plenty of things to do on campus, especially as a freshman. People encourage you to get involved because, like Nick said, it's about who you know. That's what college is for. You come here to make connections. Of course, get an education, but you come to college to make connections. That's all it is. I feel like that's all adult life is. It's who you know. You make connections, you get the job, you prosper. You get what I'm saying? So, just if you feel like you weren't doing enough, find other things to get involved with. And then later on, if you feel like you don't have to do that anymore, you don't have to do it anymore. It's no pressure at all.
exactly. And also to piggyback off the question, like don't feel like you have to do a lot. It's okay to just join a couple organizations, but like have leadership positions in those organizations. So don't feel like you have to be in like 10 different organizations, but like just a member. It's more importantly, it's the leadership in a few organizations because you get to focus more of your time into those organizations. That's important.
And then the next question is, what if I feel like college isn't for me? And the reason I put that is because I was on TikTok and I had saw it was like another college video. TikTok becoming in clutch, honestly. I learned so many new things. I learned that the little silverware tray goes on the door of the dishwasher. I didn't know that. But I had saw in another college video saying, what if I feel like college isn't for me? So I felt like I should put that in this video as well. I'm not gonna answer this first. I'm gonna let Desi or Nick take over this question.
Do not feel obligated to go to college. If you know you don't like school, then just don't do it. There are many other options that you can do to make a living and be successful. Just don't do it. Explore your options, do research.
I'm gonna be honest. I mean, my family has always instilled that education is important and everything. But I also think college is the time where you make mistakes and you learn different things. So if you feel like you get here and you feel like this ain't for me, I'm gonna be real with you. Just drop it, because at the end of the day, the person that's going to have to deal with it is you. You the one going. You the one going to school. You the one taking all these classes. You the one stressing about these grades. If you feel like it's not worth it, I mean, hey, it ain't worth it. And it's not like you can't go back. Like, there's options for you to go back if you decide after a while, actually, you know what? I want to go back to school. Plenty of people do that. So it's the time to make mistakes. It's time for you to live. If you feel like it's not for you, it's not for you. I'll be honest. Sometimes I felt like that too. When I'm stressing out about classes, I'm like, you know what? I should just drop out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I mean, like, I feel like everybody's felt like that at some point. And people who tell you they haven't aren't telling you the truth. Everybody's felt like that at some point. So I mean, if school's not for you, it's not for you. And if you think it is, you can always just come back later. It is what it is.
Yeah, college is hard, and like I remember something somebody told me a couple of days ago. Every degree program is hard. You just got to choose which one you want to get smacked by, and that's pretty much, I mean, whatever you're interested in is gonna be hard regardless. So whatever you want to get your, I'm not gonna say that. Whatever you want to, get smacked by, then do that. But you're gonna get smacked regardless. So just prepare for it.
And I guess they basically covered it. But the only thing I would add, if you're not entirely sure, if you're not entirely sure that you want to drop out or stay, I would just say take a semester off. You can take a semester off. I've had friends take a semester off just because they just need to hit that reset button. And a lot of times they do come back, but you don't have to come back. You can, take that, semester off, travel, you can work, you can invest in your hobbies, your passion, and go from there. Also, if you're a high school student, you can also take a gap year before you go into college. I think I also learned this on TikTok. It's like deferred admission. So it's like you get accepted, but then you can try to email them or contact whoever and say, I want to defer my admission to like the following spring or, the following fall. And you can, do whatever you want to do during that gap year, gap semester. So that's all I wanted to add with that. Um, that was the last question, but I'm gonna add this question in. What are you involved in on campus?
I am involved in my dorm's community council. I'm the treasurer for Building 1516 Community Council. I'm a member of NESB, the National Society of Black Engineers. I'm a member of TRIO Student Support Services. I'm a member of the Georgia African American Male Experience. What else? It's more, but a lot of them are just memberships, and I don't really do much. So yeah.
I'm involved with NCNW, which is the National Council for Negro Women. Like I mentioned earlier, Diva Dogs, which is the STEP team. NABJ, which is the National Association of Black Journalists. I'm going to be involved with the NAACP soon. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. They're pretty much all membership positions, like Nick said. But I really like being involved with Black stuff, especially like learning what UGA was as a PWI. Because I'm gonna be honest, I went to a predominantly like Black, white high school, but I mean everybody pretty much got along. So I honestly didn't even know what a PWI was. I just knew I wanted to come to Georgia because I knew I wanted to do sports broadcasting. They had an amazing program for that. So I didn't know what a PWI was, but once I got here, I figured I wanted to like really be involved with Black organizations on campus. Exactly. Of course, other organizations as well, but more specifically Black organizations. And that's just because that's something I like to do. I like to advocate for Black people, Black education, Black cultures. So that's just something that I wanted. So those are what I'm involved in.
There are a lot of Black organizations on campus too. Like there's a lot of them, and I feel like when you come here as a Black student, I kind of had that obligation to join a few Black organizations because they're there for me. They're there for people that look like me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I definitely agree. I'm involved in, I need to get involved in the NAACP. I'm planning on getting involved in that soon. I'm a member of Atlas Business Society, which is a premier business society for freshmen and sophomores within the Terry College of Business. And one thing that I'm glad I got involved in that is because it's diverse. You know, you have people who are like South Asian descent, you have white students, you have Black students, you have a multiple, it's made up of so many different graphics, and you're just able to learn so much, network with people within the Terry College of Business, help you prepare to get accepted into your major. Because right now I'm intended marketing. It was intended finance, but I just changed, so I'm intended marketing. Um, so it just helps you apply to get into your major, helps you to find internships, helps you to get out and get involved in the community. I'm also a member of the National Association of Black Accountants, NABA, and I'm the vice chair of engagement for UGA's New Black Student Union. So what Nick was saying, we have a lot of Black organizations, and BSU, we were founded to, try to help unify that process, to make it known that what organizations we have on campus. Because a lot of students, like a lot of my friends who aren't necessarily within like the big, vast, small bugger network, they could be, on the outskirts where they're never in Tate, or they're always in like their majors building. So basically what that is, to just branch out and just let, other Black students know, and other non-Black allies, what organizations we offer. So if you are an incoming bugger 25, I know 25, I sound old, like 25.
Oh wow.
Like,
Please,
woo. But if
please.
you can
26 to 27.
like look, let me make sure I'm getting this right. The Instagram is BSU underscore UGA. So if you're an incoming UGA freshman and you just want to know what the BSU has to offer, you can plug into that Instagram page. Um, I'm in charge of the social media, so I'm trying to work on how to, I guess, make it better, because this is my first time doing, what's up, running a social media page. So I'm gonna try to get that better, to let everybody know what we have to offer, and just make the experience of a Black student at UGA better than what it has been in the past. And then the last thing I'm involved in Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia Fraternity of America.
Period.
Um,
Right. Period.
it's a music fraternity. I got involved. I did band in high school. So coming to college, I was really adamant about doing band in high school, in college, because it's just such a big time commitment, and I just wanted to expand, my horizons a little bit more. But getting in the music fraternity, I was able to, um, still get that music aspect that I want, but still not be such of a time commitment. And then I'm also able to do a lot of community outreach on campus and off campus. So that's about it. I would like to thank Destiny and Nick for coming out. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And that concludes this video.